Hello! This is a video about Sonic 2, which I saw in theaters last night. It opened in my country on the 31st of March, so I've already seen it. And it's April Fool's Day today, so I get to choose the random video topic to put on my channel. This isn't a joke. Yes, I've actually seen the movie, and yes, I'm doing this. If you don't subject yourself to my Twitter, which I don't suggest that you do, you may not know that I've been a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog for 15 years of my life, which is a long time. So there are my cards on the table, okay? I was really into Sonic between the ages of 7 and, I want to say 12? I have ADHD. It was a very long-lasting hyperfixation. And so, you know, I have a strong emotional connection to this franchise. Even if it's not, I mean, you know, it's Sonic. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just, you know how it is. You know how it can get sometimes. Okay, so let's talk about the movies. I'm not going to talk about spoilers in this video. I'm probably just going to ramble a little bit because I haven't scripted this. I just want to sit down in front of the microphone and just talk and just try and get my thoughts out into the world because it's a little bit easier to do this than writing tweets. So, with the first one, I thought it was good. It was definitely better than anyone expected it to be. And I think that was the thing, right? Like, everyone kind of went and saw it because they thought it was going to be a car crash. And then they came out of it and they realized that it was, like, fun. You know, like, it wasn't bad. It was pretty solid. I mean, it's a kid's movie, right? And it definitely behaves like a kid's movie. And, that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's whatever, you know, like these movies are made for 10-year-olds. I know some people are, you know, very particular about kids' movies and being like, well, you know, kids are smart, you know, they don't need dumb stuff. I don't think Sonic 1 is dumb, but I do think that it's a little obnoxious, and it behaves like a kid's movie. Tonally, you know, you come to it, you get a kid's movie, it's fine. The thing that I didn't really like about Sonic 1 in that vein, though, was that it's really just a kid's movie with Sonic in it, right? You know, like, it doesn't really feel like a movie about Sonic the Hedgehog. And, you know, that's got really nothing to do with how he's characterized or how Eggman's characterized, or Robotnik, I guess. It's just, you know, here's a kid's movie. It's mostly, you know, this live-action thing, and then Sonic's there. And he's there, and you like that Sonic's there, right? And I don't mind it. I think the movie's fine. Like I said, I think the movie's fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. I don't necessarily know if it's great. It's solid. It's a good kids movie. It's got Sonic in it. I just wish it was more of a Sonic movie. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't... The opening feels Sonic-y, and then it just stops. It doesn't feel Sonic-y again for the rest of the movie, really. At least as far as I remember it, because I have not seen it since it came out. But, okay, now getting into the second movie. Does the second movie rectify my problems with the first one? Yes and no. In some ways, it's a lot better, and in other ways, it is much worse, and I am not happy to be reporting that, really. But I'll talk about why. So, to start off with the positives, putting more Sonic characters in this movie was obviously going to make it better at being a Sonic movie than the previous one was. And I have to give them credit where credit is due. The characters in this movie are handled very well. The Sonic character specifically. Knuckles especially is treated surprisingly well. He has not been treated well in the games for quite a while. You know, his character has kind of been reduced to just a bit of an idiot, especially in Sonic Boom, although, well, Sonic Boom's not a game. Well, it is, but that's not what I meant. I haven't played the games. Sorry. What am I saying? You know what I mean, right? Like, he's just not treated well in the games. They don't really make the most of him anymore. I mean, the games have not been well written in quite a while. I don't expect much from them. So, you know, to come to this movie and get to see Knuckles treated in a way that is, like, serious. This is the most serious take on Knuckles I've ever seen. I don't read the comics, really. I've only read the IDW ones, so sorry if Archie does him more seriously, but I kind of can't imagine that it's good. I was just very surprised by how do I put it? He's treated with a level of complexity that I was not expecting. He's not even in that much of the movie, and I will get into that. He's there, he's just not in every scene or anything. And like, yeah, there are parts where he's played for comedic effect, you know, where it's like, you know, Knuckles doesn't know anything about anything, you know, he's an alien, he's stupid. Like it's not the way that he's played for jokes in the games, and especially in Sonic Boom, which I do like, by the way. A lot of the time where he's just like stupid for no reason. Knuckles in this movie isn't so much as he's like extremely tunnel visioned and unfamiliar with human culture and technology and what have you. He's like very dedicated to his values, especially this idea of honor, and it's that makes him quote unquote gullible. And I really like that element. They don't spend a whole lot of time with it, but it's there. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to put in your movie to give your characters depth and complexity, even if it's just a little bit. Like I said, he's treated with surprising seriousness and gravity. Like you could kind of tell from the trailers that they were going with this angle, but still, it's something that I don't think we have ever even really seen in the games. Him being treated like this, like he's written pretty well in SA1, but even there, I don't think it's as good as this. I just wish it was longer. Yeah, so, you know, much like Sonic, Movie Knuckles is a different take on the same person. I mean, it divulges a bit into comedic relief with him, too much for my tastes, but it's not a big deal. Don't worry about that. Tails is cute. I like that he's as much of a weirdo stalker as Sonic was in the first movie. Again, it's like, it's this endearing thing. He clearly takes after Sonic a lot. They have very similar backstories, and, you know, that's touched on. I wish it was touched on a little bit more. I wish it was a little bit less resolved in a single scene, but that's fine. And I also appreciated the kind of little bit of the mention of his idolization of Sonic. Like, he's this guy that's so much cooler than he is, and he's the greatest hero of all time, and only Sonic the Hedgehog could do this, and blah blah. It's nowhere near on the level of like Sonic and Tails are in terms of how well he's handled, but it's cute. And I did really like him in this movie. Jim Carrey's Robotnik is, well, it's still Jim Carrey. Nothing about him will ever really come across like the guy in the games, but that's fine. It fits the tone of the movie. I don't care. He's fun to watch. It's all good. I liked it when he made the big robot. Maybe that's kind of a spoiler, but they did show it in the trailers. Yeah, that was awesome. And speaking of which, the third act of this movie where it kind of like fully dedicates itself to being a Sonic movie as opposed to being a kid's movie where Sonic is there. That was the best the movie had to offer, and that was like everything I could have asked for. If you are a fan of Sonic like me, who just kind of wants to see a movie with Sonic characters doing Sonic things, you will love the third act of this movie. It's exactly what they're promising in the trailers. But on that note, I will address the elephant in the room. The trailers are misleading. At least I think they're kind of misleading. This is still a Paramount take on a licensed franchise. You still have to put up with, my god, just ridiculous amounts of these human characters I cannot even remember the names of taking up screen time. The B-plot, I won't get into it, but it's bad. It's really bad. They could have done anything else. It's such a goddamn average bad kids movie-ass thing to pull. And I did not enjoy it. It's not funny. It drags on for way too long. You know, I'm fine with the human characters like Tom and Maddie and Agent Stone. And, you know, Wade's funny. He's there for a bit. I'm fine with them. Okay, they don't take away from the movie. I did feel like they kind of did sometimes in the first one, but they're fine here. It's the minor characters I don't give a crap about, that nobody watching gives a crap about, that drove me up the wall. They take up way too much time. Unfortunately, when this movie is not dedicated to being a Sonic movie, when it's back to being a movie with Sonic in it sometimes, it sucks. It's way worse than I remember the first one being. And it's such a shame because the good stuff in this movie is so good, and it just distracts from that. And, you know, another thing, are these movies paced 100 miles a minute because Sonic fast? ? I'm not a fan of the pacing. I just wish it would slow down a little bit. If they cut out the fuffing around with the minor characters and they spent more time with Sonic and Co., the movie could still be like 2 hours long, and it wouldn't feel like it dragged on for like 20 minutes, half an hour. Yeah, that's really the biggest issue. It just loses focus with what it's meant to be about. But enough with the negatives. I just want people to be warned that as promising as it probably looks from the trailers, it's not all good, unfortunately. But one thing that I really think that Sonic fans will appreciate in this movie is the lore. I understand that this is like the most surface level compliment. You know, the movie's not automatically good because it's got lore in it. But it kind of is, right? Like, all I'm asking from the Sonic movies is to be Sonic movies. So the fact that there's a couple scenes dedicated to the lore of this world is really appreciated. The tone feels very accurate to the lore in the games. That was like one of my favorite things about Sonic as a kid. I always loved how it wasn't afraid to like take itself seriously. And, you know, that's what draws a lot of people to Sonic. And this movie isn't either, at times. It's not like a copy of the lore in the actual games. This world's a little bit different, but it feels totally in line with, like, canon Sonic lore. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I don't even care about, like, Evangelion lore, but I care about Sonic lore. Anyway, my point is that, again, when the movie decides to be a Sonic movie, which it does way more frequently than the first movie does, by the way, it's really good at that. I have my issues with the pacing. I don't think it's funny very often. That's personal opinion. I cannot stand how every kid's movie has to have like a dance sequence in it, but I enjoyed the movie. It's fine. It's good even sometimes. In conclusion, I hope that Sonic 3 takes itself a little bit more seriously for most of the runtime, because they've got more Sonic characters now. I'm not saying who's in the next one. We don't know everyone anyway, but, you know, they've got another great story to adapt from the games with this one. They just have to, you know, commit to it. They need to accept that these are Sonic movies, and we want more Sonic. We love Sonic. We love Sonic. We love Sonic in profound and confronting ways. Is this movie good? I don't know. Probably not. It doesn't matter. Is this movie better than the first one? Yes. Is it worse than the first one? Also yes. This movie is all over the goddamn place. Tails commits vehicular manslaughter in a stolen police vehicle. Now he's a wanted criminal in 37 states, and he's taken refuge in Siberia. Okay, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I have been busy with life, unfortunately. I don't like not doing my online stuff, but I've been very tired and very occupied with other things, such as having a job. Potentially expect more videos in which I talk. That could be interesting. Not necessarily about Hedgehog, but you know. Why didn't I do a video like this about 3.0 plus 1.0, you might wonder. You're probably not wondering. It's because I started writing a really serious one that would have been very heartfelt and just went over all of my feelings on that movie. And then I didn't finish it. So, do you still want to hear my opinions on Shin Eva? Let me know. Do you want to hear my opinions on, that wasn't the next sentence I was gonna say. It might be funny and wacky of me to talk about the great Evangelion shipping drama meltdown of 2021 at some point, because for some reason I take a special interest in that debacle. Speaking of Hedgehog, would you like to hear my hot takes on Sonic 06 as one of the 5 people who like that game? Do you want to hear my opinions on anything ever again? Okay, thanks, bye!